Good morning everybody, welcome back to the channel. I am AmalgamAsh and this is an instructional video. I'm going to show you how to take my free ceiling pack for SGB and install it properly. There is a set of instructions with the pack, but it is not totally accurate, and that is on me. That's my fault. So I'm going to be fixing the instructions, but I'm going to go over this step by step with you so that you can get these into your projects. So this is the license to use this, and you can use this with or without crediting me for your personal projects, for your commercial projects. It does not matter. These are not the same ceilings that I showed everybody how to use showed everybody how to create rather in my fast ceilings and floors in SGB tutorial video. These are different, and I'll show you how they're different. Now, these are just meshes. You might notice that pretty immediately. They're FBX files, but they are only the meshes. There is no texture attached to them. The reason for that is the textures are already on your PC. You have the textures with Smile Game Builder. Rather, you have textures that have the name that these are looking for already. That will make a little bit more sense later. I want to point out that there is a folder in the set of instructions here that we're going to be going to. It's in your program files, it's in the Steam apps, Smile Game Builder folder. Don't worry about modifying anything there. We're not going to do that. It's totally fine for advanced SGB users, but if you're not comfortable doing anything in that folder, don't worry. We're only going to be copying the tiles that are there. We're not going to be moving anything out. We're not going to cut. We're not going to modify. We're just going to copy. We're going to leave everything else alone just for the sake of installing these models. So you can right click and copy that link and paste it right up above, and it will go to your sample sets. Now these are the tiles that come with Smile Game Builder. There are man-made, natural, and stairs and slopes. I have Smile Game Builder open, and if you'll take a look over here and look at your terrain, you'll see them. Natural, man-made, stairs and slopes. Now, we are only going to focus on the natural and man-made. So, go into your man-made folder first, and then we're going to highlight all of these guys, and we're going to right-click, and we're going to click Copy. And we're not going to do anything else here. We're going to back up, and now we're back to where your AmalgamAsh's Ceiling Pack Free folder is. I put mine on my desktop, and I unzipped it there so that it would be very, very easy to find once we're ready to import these. But for now, right-click and paste. And then all those lovely tiles a copy of them will now be in this folder. So now we're going to go forward back to the sample set folder, and instead of going into man-made, we're now going to go into natural. So you'll go into natural, and just like before, highlight and copy all of these guys. Don't move them, don't delete them, nothing like that, and just go back twice. And now we are back in the ceiling pack folder, and we will paste those, and we're going to get a message. If you did it exactly like I did, you're going to get a message that says, hey, this already has this info.xml file. Don't worry about that. We're not using the info.xml file. We know that we just tried to paste two different copies of it into the same folder. It doesn't matter if you replace it or skip it. You can just hit skip. So this folder is now completely set up. It has the textures and meshes, and we're not actually going to be using every single one of these tiles that we put in here. I only made meshes for 24, and there's more than 24 here, but that was the fastest way to get all of our tiles copied into this folder. So now we are done, and we can go into SGB. Part 2 is so much simpler than Part 1. Here we have a brand new project. I just made this project. It has no third-party assets or a DLC or anything in it. We're going to import our new ceiling and floor meshes. So click Add Assets, and then go to Maps, and then Objects, and then you want to click Add. And we're doing this in objects and not terrain because these are going to be 3D objects. And because mine opens up, I'm sure yours does too, right on your desktop, I can see the folder that my stuff is in. And it is indicated by this open box icon picture on the folder that it's ready to go. So all you have to do is click on that one time and then click add. And then you'll get a message saying, added 24 of object in category man-made. So we did it, and we are done. If you are savvy with Blender, you'll know how to make this. You'll know how I did it, and you'll know how to make something better for distribution. I just wanted to make sure that I had something that really matched any tile you could possibly want, and I'll show you what I mean by that too. So we have a man-made folder. You could have named this anything you wanted. You can actually do that now. So we'll call it floor and ceiling. That's nice, huh? Hit enter. Or leave it named man-made, whatever you want to do. We're going to close that. And now to find these, you're not going to be in terrain, because remember I told you they're not terrains, they're objects. And they'll be in objects. Oh, look at that. It didn't change the name of the tab. That's okay. Maybe when we save and reopen, it'll change. But these are all 24 of your brand new ceiling and floor meshes. So you can click on them and you can place them. And now the big reveal. These are meshes that are actually separated into, these in particular, Castle 10 by 10, it is separated into 100 different flat planes, each one calling your tile, which is named castle, 001 underscore castle. So that you can have these 10 castle tiles on the floor all at once. We don't want to use it as a floor, however. We want to use it as a ceiling. So let's go into our house map that comes by default, and let's just place it. And you saw me earlier, I clicked on the floor and it placed on the floor. Now you can still move it around just like you could any object because it's just an object. But if you place it on an elevated surface, it is now a ceiling. And this really needs to be the last thing you do, just like I told you with the custom ceilings video and that I made, because you can't see anything after that, and backface culling is not supported in SGB as far as we know. So let's move that out of the way, and then we're going to right click and make this the start point, and we're going to move this back on top, and we're going to play test. I'll just middle mouse click that so that it skips the intro. And we can't see our character, but if we switch the viewpoint, we now have a ceiling. You now have a ceiling. You have a ceiling in SGB. And you can use any of these. Whoops, we want to close this. You can use any of these to make that a ceiling. So you can delete that. And let's say you want to use this 3x10 strip of flowers. What are you going to do? That only covers a little bit. Well, and it's horizontal. Well, you can rotate it. It'll rotate it 90 degrees. And you can use that rotation feature to place these in different ways in order to get the coverage that you need. We won't place them right on top of each other, or they will end up Z-fighting, which looks very ugly when you are playtesting. But we will place them side by side so that I can show you what they look like in game. And again, all right, I have flowers on my ceiling. Don't ask me how. It's just witchery, okay? It's just magic. And then labyrinth ceiling, and the same ceiling that the house walls are actually made out of. So what I did when I made these is I made different configurations, 3x10 and 10x10, so that you would have some sort of control, a little bit of control over how and where to place them. But I'll make more of these in the future, I think, and I can make different configurations like 5x5 or 20x20 if you want to get crazy. But you should be able to do whatever you want with these current configurations. And if we go outside, let's say you want to make this an overhang, then you'll take, actually, let's use the wood. And let's just use these very unconventionally. All right, so let's delete the ones that are there. And we'll lay down wood. Right? And exactly 9 of these will cover a 30x30 map if you put them here. And you'll notice the anchors in the upper left corner, just like it is with my my other ceilings that I made in my how-to video. And we want to get a little bit better view. There we go. I just control-clicked them and I was able to move them all up a level at once. That was awesome. I also want to paint the ground with the wood tile. And then last, I'm going to raise all the sides. All right, watch this nonsense. And B to go into first person, and now we've completely enclosed our house inside of another house. It looks like I missed a spot. That's okay. So you will notice that just like the ceilings I made in my last video, these cast a very opaque shadow on the ground, and they will make things darker. So, but you can change the properties of the light per map, and you can make things a little bit more customized to your needs. And super important, I want you to note that these all have their own unique names, which are basically meaningless. However, if you were to take a tile that you yourself made, just take any of the existing tiles, like this is 020 wood wall, take 020 wood wall and edit this tile to look however you want. And then as long as it shares a folder with this mesh will point to the new tile. And then you can import that into SGB and thus have custom models of floors and ceilings using whatever tile you want. So if you want to use the DLC tiles, you should be able to pull those out of their folders, copy them rather, paste them into the ceiling pack, and rename the tiles, the PNG files of the tiles, to match those of these meshes. And then you can import those into SGB. So you can potentially, with a little bit of copying and renaming things, use any tile you want as a ceiling or floor, and these models will provide you with 10x10 and 3x10 configurations of those. But if you are savvy at using Blender, you can make all of this stuff yourself. It took me a little bit of time to figure out exactly where things should stop and start, but once I got it, I was able to start making them one after another in no time at all. I hope that you found this helpful. I really apologize for the messed up instructions in that first wave, and I hope everybody is able to use these. And once this pack goes public, because it's going to go out to all of the submitters of the SGB 2021 Summer Jam first, then I hope that everybody will be able to use these pretty easily without having to worry or fuss too much. So thank you very much for watching. Let me know what you thought, what you're going to use them for, if you're going to use them at all, if this process was too nonsensical for you, or any other comment you feel appropriate. And I'll see you tomorrow. Have a great day. Bye-bye.